Alright, this is BoxingWave. Happy Easter, everyone. Hope everyone have a safe holiday today. Okay, I just wanted to do another video speaking on Shawn Porter. This video I wanted to speak on where I actually place him in the top 5 or at the 147 welterweight division. Okay, I wanted to place him and tell you where I think he belongs and everything like that. So he beat Paulie Malignaggi in incredible fashion. I'll admit that up to this point, I think this point this year, I think this might be the most impressive fight. You know, you see me do a lot of prediction videos. There's not too many videos so far that I can sit here and say I'm gonna see a knockout. You know, Porter went in there and annihilated. We don't see too many fights where guys go in there and totally obliterate another fighter. It's rare that it happens. Porter went in there and he wanted the people to know that Paulie Malignaggi, no matter how good he is, does not even belong in the ring with me. He shouldn't even be mentioned at all. And Paulie is a really good fighter. I'm a big fan of Paulie. You know, I like fighters from New York. I mean, I'm biased when it comes to fighters from New York. You know, it was hard to even pick between Zab and Paulie because these are guys that are from, you know, my city. And, you know, I love every fighter from my city, you know, no matter what. I love every fighter from New York, period. But he destroyed Paulie Malignaggi, you know. I mean, I thought Porter would win, but I thought it was going to be by decision, maybe possibly late stoppage, 10th, 11th round stoppage. But anyway, I did a post-fight video for that. This is where I speak of where Porter belongs in the welterweight division, okay? Now, before this fight, I always wanted to see the fight between Kell Brook, Thurman, and Porter. These three guys, I wanted them to fight, okay? More Porter and Thurman. I wanted to see these two guys because those were my two favorite up-and-coming future fighters at 147. I mean, we have the Mayweathers, the Pacquiaos, the Tim Bradleys, the Marquezes, all these guys that's been around for a long time now, you know, but soon they'll be retiring. You know, they all got 3, 4, maybe 4 fights left. You know, we don't know how long, but they probably got a couple of years left in them. But you got these guys that are not like completely young, but you know, their professional careers, they're just now reaching, you know, they're soon approaching their peak, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, I wanted to see Porter. I couldn't put him. I didn't know where to place him, and I'm sure a few of you will actually agree with me. I wasn't too sure where to place Porter until after this fight. You know, I needed. You know, the Devin Alexander was a good win, but that was just one win. You know, I mean, he beat Diaz in the second fight. The first fight was clearly a draw. He beat Diaz in more impressive fashion in the second fight, but I still needed more. You know, Diaz has lost to other people, and Diaz lost most of his bigger fights already, so I needed more. He beats Alexander. I was there for that fight. It was a good fight, and he beat him in impressive fashion, but he used the same plan, the same game plan that Tim Bradley already beat him with when Devin Alexander was undefeated. So for Porter, I needed just a little bit more, just like I need a little bit more from Kell Brook, more from Thurman. You know, I need more for these guys. You know, I still don't think any of these guys reach their prime, and I still want to see more. Then let me know how good they really are before I start saying that they're better than Floyd or Pacquiao, all these other guys. You know, I just needed more. So as far as Porter, I needed this fight to happen because this is more. All right, he's the IBF champ. That's the only difference between him and the other two, is that he is the IBF champion. You know, he's actually a champ right now. So all right, so basically now that the fight is set, it's all said and done, this is the most impressive fight win. And you know what, some of you guys might even still judge him. All right, you could sit here and say, oh, he just beat Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie lost to Hatton, he lost to Cotto, he lost to Amir Khan. All right, but you know what, it's the way that he beat Paulie Malignaggi that's impressive. We seen Paulie, you know, he just beat Zab Judah. I think he beat Zab, even a round that he got knocked down in, I thought he beat Zab Judah. Okay, he beat Zab Judah. He's beating, oh, he didn't beat Broner, but he at least exposed a lot of the flaws that Braun have, which I already thought was exposed a little bit, but that's another, that's another topic. All right, he got in a close fight. I mean, Paulie's been looking good. Paulie is still, one of the guys, a very good boxer. He's not a great boxer, but he's very good. He's always going to be in the discussion at 147, 140 or whatever. He's always going to be in discussion. You beat Paulie, that is an impressive win. Whatever way you want to look at it, that is an impressive win. But it's the way that he beat Paulie, okay? Miguel Cotto in his prime didn't beat Paulie that way. Amir Khan, Ricky Hatton, these guys, none of these guys beat Paulie like the way Shawn Porter beat Paulie Malignaggi, okay? So in that sense, it's impressive. A lot of you guys say, oh, Mayweather, Mayweather, so what if he beat Guerrero? So what if he beat this guy or that guy? It's the way that he beats these guys. Some of these guys go in the ring with fighters that they're supposed to annihilate, and they end up losing to them or making it a really close fight or getting knocked down. We see that countless times. Shawn Porter went in there and did his thing. He didn't even make it where there's any discussion about who's the better fighter. So in conclusion, this is where I see it at. As far as Keith Thurman, I want to see the fight. I don't think either one of them is in their prime. You know why? Because I think they're getting better with each fight. They're getting better each step. I don't think either one of them is in their prime yet. And that's scary because they're both very good already. All right? But I think Porter is a little ahead of Thurman because of the people that he's fought, the level of competition, and the way that he beat the guys that he fought. Porter beat Alexander. I think both Alexander and Malignaggi are better fighters than the guys that Thurman have fought. And the way that Porter has beaten these guys, he's only, especially Malignaggi now, I think he's another step ahead of Thurman. He's a step ahead of Thurman and Kell Brook. Okay? Plus, he's a champion. He's actually a title holder here. All right, at 147. But I place him a little bit. As far as those two, this is my opinion. I want to see the fight. All right, I don't speak on it too much. I want to see the fight, but I want to see the fight when they're in their prime. I want it to be to a point where these guys are both winning and they won some fights and now they have to get into, they're bigger at this time. Like I picture them fighting where they're both bigger names at this point, like maybe in a year or maybe even 2 years, where it could be a pay-per-view and it'd be a big matchup. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that would be a really good fight because I don't know who's better between the two. I think Porter is slightly the better boxer than Thurman, but at the same time, Thurman got the power advantage. I don't know who will win that fight, but I think those two, they're eventually gonna have to clash. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see them fight. They can fight now, but I prefer to see them fight when they're both bigger. When the Pacquiaos and everybody's not thinking about Pacquiao and Mayweather and all these other guys anymore. I want to see them fight when they're like at a different stage in their career. Okay, so that's how I feel about that. But as far as Porter, I want to see if he can beat Kell Brook. I think he should get his fight with Floyd. If Floyd wins against Maidana, I think Porter beats Kell Brook. He should get his fight with Floyd. Do I think Floyd is going to fight him? I doubt it. It's been a long time since Floyd fought a black fighter that was undefeated, that was in their prime, they're young. It's been a long time. I mean, I'll be really surprised. I'm not saying Floyd won't do it, but I'll be really surprised if Floyd would take a fight with Porter right now. I mean, it just Porter's not like the guys that fought Floyd recently. I would be really, really shocked if Floyd take the fight, But anyway, I think, me personally, these are the top 5 that I got. I think as far as top 5 fighters, you always gonna throw Floyd in there, Pacquiao, Bradley, Marquez. Out of the new guys, or out of the guys that's not, the up and coming guys, or the guys all the other guys in welterweight, I think Shawn Porter deserves that 5th spot. Whatever order you want to throw it in, I think this win here puts Porter in that 5th spot. He's in that spot now. Like, it's officially, in my opinion, I will put Porter in the top 5 now with that win. Okay, you got a lot of other guys that's still in the division But right now, Porter is still undefeated, coming off a big, impressive wins. Devin Alexander, a guy that people spoke about possibly fighting Floyd at one point. You know, he's beaten Marcos Maidana. You know, he lost to Bradley, but, you know, he's beating Matisse, even though I didn't think he won that fight. You know, but I think, you know, you beat Porter and then you go and beat Paulie Malignaggi. You know, I think he definitely is a top 5 welterweight right now. Put him in there. He's the only young fighter that deserves to be in that top 5, in my opinion. The only young fighter. Okay, so I think he's top 5 now. And if he beats Kell Brook, he deserves his fight with Floyd. All right. So that's my opinion on Shawn Porter. And he's still getting better with each fight, and I think he's gonna be dangerous. I think he's gonna be one of those guys that people are gonna really start ducking now. I mean, the top guys, the top guys, he's gonna be that fighter that no one wants to fight now, because like Thurman, you know how Thurman's getting ducked right now. Porter, same thing. After watching that beatdown, no one is gonna want to get in this ring with this guy. All right, so that's my opinion on Porter. Leave your thoughts. You know, do you think he's top 5? Do you think he's better than Thurman? And do you think he deserves a fight with Floyd? Would you want to see that fight? Or if not Floyd, Pacquiao, all these other guys that's over in top rank, you know, I would love to see. I think he's like a Tim Bradley 2.0. I always thought they fought very similar. They have the same body. A lot of people don't think Porter has the power. I think Porter doesn't have the one-punch knockout power like a Keith Thurman does. But I think with an accumulation of punches, I think his strength, his athleticism, and his boxing ability, he has very good boxing. I mean, you see him use his jab against Paulie, a guy that has a great jab. Porter is the truth all the way around. All across the board, he's the truth. Now, he's proven it. So let me know what you think on him. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and follow me on Instagram. Peace.